What's going on, everyone? It's time to talk about another Shudder original. So I might spoil some of this, so because it's pretty hard to talk about this film without spoiling it. So, just so you're aware. But today we're gonna be talking about the new film on Shudder, Martyrs Lane. This isn't sponsored by Shudder, anyways, by the way. I'm just like promoting stuff I like. So, yeah. But Martyrs Lane is really sometime into film festivals earlier this year, 2021, and now Shudder picked it up for distribution, so it's on their site. And it was directed by Ruth Platt. It's done other films like The Lesson, The Heart Falls Without Warning, Tornado, and Sparkling Cyanide. But yeah, anyways, Martyrs Lane is a supernatural horror thriller. You follow a 10-year-old girl who is an asthmatic and is basically trying to find. Uh, it's like a coming of age story almost a bit of her taking in the world around her and stuff like that. Her older sister and her friends bully her and stuff like that. Your typical 10-year-old child with an older sibling. Um, yeah, and it takes place in I think it's a British film, but yeah, they have like the British accent. And but yeah, and she eventually meets sort of like an imaginary friend, and who she's uh, becomes like good friends with, and starts like learning more about her slowly and surely. And yeah, and as it goes on, you learn more about like the rest of the family and stuff. Like mom has some post traumatic stress somehow. Her father's a preacher. He's dealing with like other people's problems and stuff, like the neighbors and who have like I think it was like a son that killed himself or something, and some like depressing issues. And she's trying to cope with all this going on, and amongst all this craziness in her family, she meets this um, odd young girl that keeps coming into her room late at night, and yeah, it's your typical ghost story sort of setting, and then it has more. But the horror elements is only one part of the film. This film is more focuses more a lot more on like loss and like different emotions people go through similar things like that, and yeah, it has quite the artistic feel to it. It is actually it's pretty decent. It's a little bit of a slow burn for the first half of the film, but once it starts picking up and slowly start getting the pieces of the film and stuff like that, it becomes a little more interesting uh, and intriguing. And as it goes on, you think you know this how the story's going to play out, and it throws a couple little twists here and there. Has some good like little jump scares in there. Has your typical paranormal atmosphere throughout. So like you'll see like the camera will be like filming a mirror. You see the girl looking at her reflection. You see like a little ghost child run behind her or something like that. Little things like that. And then all that, once the mother expresses like what actually happened and why she's always upset and stuff like that, and explains it comes somewhat full circle for the young girl, where it's just like the girl, spoiler alert, the girl that she's been seeing is actually her dead sister who got hit by a car while she was riding a bike, and died of her injuries. And you sort of see it makes a lot more sense after they tell that, because you see different parts. Like there's one part where she's like picks at her back, and you see like a huge like gash in her where her shoulder blade is and stuff, and like you're wondering how that happened and stuff. And obviously they explained it later on. And then yeah, so once you grasp that, but then it gives you a good little twist of the girl is not actually who uh, she it appears to be. She's more of like a malevolent force and trying to disrupt the family and stuff like that. And there's almost more otherworldly stuff happens near the end. Now the ending and stuff I thought was pretty amusing, pretty cheesy, but pretty amusing all at one time. It's still an entertaining film. It is a slow burn. Does have some like depressing aspects of it, but it definitely takes you on like a little bit of an emotional ride, I guess. But it's still a decent film. but it's not reinventing the wheel or anything. It's basically, we've seen films like this before, and quite frequently in modern films or TV shows. Like, I found this to be more somewhat on the same lines as like The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor. If you like those type of films, you'll probably enjoy this one. I absolutely hate those shows, so I thought they were boring and a waste of time. So, but this one I kind of liked a bit more because it also has more of like the movie The Others, sort of like that sort of sense to it, not as like dark and bleak, and there's more paranormal in The Others, but it has sort of that sort of sense and feel to it. It's still a good watch. It's definitely not the best thing on Shudder, but it's definitely a good little arts film, exploring loss and stuff like that. And it has some good paranormal stuff. It's a little bit for everyone, but certain people, if you're looking for like the Conjuring style paranormal, this isn't it. So you probably won't be more. If you like that more, this one probably won't be for you. This is more for like the arts film crowd and the more of like the emotional sort of story type of crowd. So yeah, but Martyrs Lane is still one, and it's still a decent film. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5, only because I wish more paranormal stuff and maybe more interesting stuff happened, because most of it was bleak, and they kind of let you kind of fill in the blanks as the way you want to perceive it, which is good. But sometimes these type of films, it's good to see a little bit more. But this is made for more specific crowd, I think, than what not for everyone. So yeah, well, that's my thoughts on Martyrs Lane. Definitely check it out if you do. Also, if you're on Shudder, look for my name, Derek Peterson, with no spaces in the comments. That's me. I usually write like my first opinion right after watching the film and rating on there. So yeah, if you want to see if I checked it out, I should be on in the comments. But yeah, there's a trailer link down below, like always. If you want to check it out, if it sounds interesting and something you want to check out, the trailer's linked down below. Also, my Instagram's always linked down below, where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. And I usually have the film title and a hashtag, and the subgenre of film and a hashtag, so you're aware of it. So yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram to stay in the loop. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions down below of the film. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. So yeah, and also if you have any films, whether on Shudder or any films at all that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And yeah, like and share this, and make sure you subscribe, because you never know what I'm going to talk about next, and I have no idea what the hell I'm going to talk about next. So yeah, watch out for all those ghost kids that are coming to haunt you and tell their stories, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. Hopefully it's another good film like this. So yeah, well, we'll see. All right, see you in the next one. Cheers.